I like to go on record as saying, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be the one. It's a lot of people who could have stumbled and broke this down. It's like, I don't know, something about it. It's a subject that everyone needs to know, but I don't want my voice attached to it because it's a sticky subject. I mean, it's one of those where, you have sore spots. You ever heard that thing? Well, this is a sore spot for me and a lot of people. But I'm just going to get to it. I have to dive in because I don't know where to start. I don't know where to end. I don't really want to say this. I want to talk about birth defects. Birth defects. Okay, I don't really like that word, It's really just different, okay? And I already spoke on different. Let's talk about this. Okay, let's talk about a sensitive subject, a major cause of birth defect, all right? There are a lot of causes, all right? Drug use, a lot of things, but let's talk about a major cause of it, all right? When you put opposites together, it has something that's similar. It has a similar effect to when you put things that are too similar together, such as when a brother and sister make a child, you have a problem, okay? Because it seems like the particles and chromosome DNA, whatever you want to call them, have a problem making up their mind because their choices are so similar. It could go either way. And sometimes they don't make up their mind in time and the choice ain't made correctly and people are born misformed. What you call birth defects. But I don't like that word. You can't, you might can breed a cat and a dog together in a laboratory or somewhere else. But what you get in the end is going to have problems. Okay? It's going to have what you keep calling defects, but malformations and a lot of things. It also has psychological birth defects, not just physical ones. Well, let's pause for a moment. Okay, let's continue. I like to go on record as saying the reason that this is a sensitive issue is that it goes to the heart of interracial relationships, and it's not in favor. The facts aren't in favor of interracial relationships or on behalf of them. Now, this isn't my personal opinion or that I go against it. It's that these facts I'm getting ready to present, they are not in behalf of it. That's what makes it a sore spot. Okay, people love who they love. But there are hazards in this situation and there's no sense in hiding it any longer. Many people have suffered. You see, it's real selfish of a person. Okay, a child or a being does not belong to anyone. You simply loan it some skin. You're not the owner of its soul and its mind. It's going to have that soul and mind regardless of what you do. And that soul and mind is going to do what it wills to do regardless of what you teach it to try to make it do. It's going to turn out like that in the end. So you loan it some skin. Okay, now that's your job. All right? And try to show it the ropes. Okay, that's your job. Now, if you be inconsiderate in your job of providing skin for this, you want to provide it with the best skin or body you can. It doesn't want to come here with a body and no legs. It doesn't want to come here twisted. It doesn't want to come here with one eye that doesn't work good. Okay? So, you can love who you want to love, but when it comes to making people, it's not something that should happen on an accident, and it should be considered. All right? Like I said, there are consequences. if you are too similar, even if you aren't brother and sister, if your blood type looks like your brother and sister, things could happen. Well, around on the other end of the spectrum, around the circle, where the end is right next to the beginning, things are always similar, like a baby in a diaper and an old person in a diaper. Okay, a baby can't think quite yet, and an old person can't think anymore. Just similar. All right. On the other side of the spectrum is a different kind of birth defect. All right, that doesn't come from incest. It comes from opposites. All right, and everyone's trying to pretend that they don't hear it or see it. Okay, it's something that's kind of like not mentioned. Okay. You got a bunch of people walking around a little bit twisted, a little bit what you call lame or deformed. I don't like any of those words. They're just, this part of them is different. Everyone is. So, no one's feet are the same size, and hands are the same size. Our ears are all exact level. Okay? But these are exaggerated, so people point at them and overlook their own nose on their own face. It's just another sickness. But let's talk about how it happens over here. Okay? Because some of these people are opposites. Okay? First of all, the first fact that's not in the favor of interracial relationships is childbearing. It's genocide for some races. Like pick the so-called white race and the so-called black race. If they get together, the white race becomes smaller and the black race becomes bigger. Because the baby takes on the black characteristic. It dominates it. And if every white person did that in every black person, there wouldn't be any more white people anymore. It would just be genocide. If everyone in the world made it with black people, there wouldn't be any other people but black people. This is a fact that no one's acting like they see and they know. This is a fact. This isn't how I feel. This isn't what I think. It doesn't matter how you feel about this fact. It's a fact. And you're insane or ignorant if you act like you don't know it's a fact. Tired of this, man. We can't go through this another 100 years. No, it's over. It's done. It's in the past. It's time for the ones. So let's stick to the subject of this particular thing, not just the genocide. It's the subject we're talking about. High percentages in the 90s when these people mate, the baby is born with some sort of birth defect, a twisted foot, a crooked finger. Sometimes it's so slight you can't even see it, but they aren't perfect. They aren't even the average, okay? They have a deliberate, wandering eye. All right, they see this side over here has its hereditary physical problems, okay? Anyone mating with this species must know that it has hereditary problems, inborn problems, whether you mate with it or not. See, this is the reason why some people don't want these facts to be known. I don't want people scared to sleep with me, because if we have a baby, the baby might have some of my problems. See what I'm saying? And it got way out of control. Turned into a racist world. That's another story. Let's stick to this. This is a fact. You meet any racial kid, look at them. They'll tell you. They try to hide it. But yeah, my hip is a little crooked. Yeah, my foot. I look away because of my eye. I'm going to get my nose fixed when I make it big. Okay? No one knows that my shoulder is like that. And things like that. Alright, but they all have it. And it's too many. Creating a race of people, what you're doing is not fair to them. that it's a fact that something's going to be wrong with them, and you do it anyway because me so horny. We just had to do it. We know that if we make a baby, the odds is this. But we act like we don't know. Or maybe they didn't really know. But it's known now. I'm not saying everybody, oh no, don't go sleep with white people or you're going to have asthma. Because they just can't help it. You'll seldom meet one without it. That comes from origin. An environment where there wasn't sufficient plant life to produce air. So they were in high altitude, low air environments. It's a miracle they lived. But they did. And they have shallow breathing because of it. Oh well. It's just a difference. Okay? You can call it defect if you want to, but you show me the perfect person in the mold that you're getting these defects from, that if you're not this, you're imperfect. Show me where these perfect people are, that if you're not like them, you're not perfect. Because I see it across the board, okay? I see it happening across the board. This is just one way it happens, okay? I just want to talk about this one way at a time because it ties to, like I said, the race issue. And should people get together, okay? They can touch, they can love, they can have sex, but make a baby? Our technology has to be applied to this area, or we can tell if they do, it's what's going wrong and how to keep it from going wrong. We can't just let it keep happening, keep doing it. They want us to screw? No. You're producing handicapped people on purpose, intentionally. I mean, it could have been avoided. It wasn't an accident. It goes down every time. I know because I just gave a whole note on the breeds. The people who are no people. You know, especially like I said, these groups, these people that there's no such thing as a white person, no such thing as a black person, but they're calling themselves black and they call themselves white. Well, when they get together and make a baby, this baby can't go anywhere. It has to be its own race because it's not white enough for the white people. So the white people are seeing it as a black person, and they can feel it. And it's not black enough for the black people because the black people are seeing it as a whitish person, and they can feel it. And it's just out here nowhere along. Now I'm twisted and handicapped, or I got a flaw, and I don't got no people really. I'll try to kick with everybody, but they keep doing me wrong. Ask them. We got a whole new race of them, and I'm part of it. And it's not just these two races. It go across the board. So you got to be careful. You know, sex drive. This is a crime of humanity to do this, especially now that it's known. All right, if you sleep together, your baby's not going to have a head, and you do it anyway. Same thing. I don't care how drastic it sounds. It's the same thing, because your baby can have one little arm and one big arm. Because you just had to do the wild thing. And you could have did it and had safe sex. You didn't have to make a baby. Knowing that this is like someone who marries someone and they contracting a disease, but they still want to have sex. You got to do safe sex. It could be some people who don't want to have kids yet. All right, they do this. Well, you can do this too and keep on loving who you're loving. There's other consequences in interaction, but that's not this note. It'll look like an attack on the Pacific people. We can't do that because remember where we're at on the one. They may look different, but so much of you is in them now. They're the same as you. Okay? They're not those people anymore. They have too much of all these other people in them. Actually in their blood. Skin may be still different. All the skins are still different, but you still have all of this world that you breathed in, and it became part of your skin. You know, everybody began to take on those black characteristics because it has the dominant gene. They begin to even start to looking like them a little bit. But that's just a sign of the universal race of how you are what you eat. And eat means to take in. That means also what you breathe. And we're breathing in each other. And that's another whole story that takes a note by itself. Now, it's called one race. And you will love it. Especially people who just tired of, people pointing out the differences and making a big deal out of it. That's just so old and tired. Feel me? It's just so old and tired because every time you get to know somebody, that disappears and they have a name. And they have a personality. And you're going to like them or not like them. And it ain't going to be based on what they look like. It's going to be on how they behave and treat you. It's good if you get past that. But if you just be passing, they them people. But every one of them people that you know ain't them people no more. You start making exceptions. No, he's not like the rest. Why? Because you know him and you don't know them? That's basically it. And you're crazy. And you just finding out. It's what you do about it from here that matters. Okay? It was like we woke up one day in the middle of a movie and everybody was crazy and we don't really remember what happened. And we ain't got time to figure that out because I'm not going to stay crazy while you guys figure out how we got crazy. I want to know how do we undo it. See, that's what the ones that aren't totally crazy, that's what the conclusion that the ones came to. So we're about getting uncrazy, okay? We'll let Mr. Payne figure out, how we got that way. My main concern is tell me how to fix it, okay? And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, all right? So, pretty soon we'll be understanding the body. We'll be able to live forever again, live 200 years, 400 years, and this will probably go down the next 10, 20 years. It could go down now, but hey, we got things have to be tested. You just can't drop them on people because you made a few super people. In a way, you can say I'm one of those experiments, but mine would be difficult to repeat. But portions of it can be repeated separately, which can help everybody. And it's what I'm working on and what we're doing, trying to get it to the point to get to you. All right. And it all has to be done undercover because people will take things and make it something, take a little piece of it and run out there and try to make their fortune off of it and mess up a really good thing and for the whole world. This has happened already more times than I care to tell you. So this mixing, okay? All right, it's cool in a certain way. All right. But when it comes to this one fact, it's not cool. It's not fair. It's not right. Until it's fixed. Or you find a way to overdo it. You ought to have some conscience and consideration and some humanity. That the census is not going to tell you this. No one's going to tell you that there are hundreds of millions of people who have flaws because of this one little fact. These people aren't supposed to mix. Like a sister and brother aren't supposed to sleep together on the opposite side, and every time they attempt it, the baby has a flaw. And we're not saying anything. Why? Because we're paranoid on this side over here, and they're going to blame it on us because we're so flawed. This is just an attitude that's been handed down to me. Don't blame me. Okay, that's basically how it's going to come to you from the other side. You're not going to get anything out of it, rushing them and pursuing them and charging them and accusing them. It's just not going to go that way. They're going to claim, hey, the way I am is the way I was made. You could take it up with my mom, but she's the way her mom made her. And it really goes back further than you could reach unless you got a time machine. What what is it about? It's about, okay, now you know what's the difference. If I told you or anybody else, now you know what you're going to do about it. You don't even know what to do about it. So if we had told you, it just would have been a big mess like it is now. Okay? That's all what you're going to get back. You ain't going to get no admission of guilt or nothing because they didn't do anything wrong. All right? All they did was withhold information that was not in their favor. You can't tell them they don't got the right to do that. You don't know, and I ain't going to tell you because it's going to make you treat me bad. That sounds like sound reasoning once upon a time long ago. We're in another time now, and everything is going to be redid. We're not going to let some people from 400 years ago build log cabins, and we've been living in them log cabins ever since. That's ludicrous. Tradition means you're going to be stuck in the same thing, doing the same thing every year, every boring year, just doing the same thing. Tradition. Someone, man, a very, very wealthy person put me up on tradition when I was very poor. Told my baby mama in confidence, let me tell you about us. This was in Palm Springs. She said, us rich, we go to the opera. It's tradition. We have to be there almost. And don't you know there isn't 10 people in that damn theater to even understand what they're saying up there? And we're there in our best dress and all this here. And explained how the whole thing worked. But she confided in my baby mama because my baby mama was a simple girl down to earth. She wasn't no scientist or no super brain. Okay? She had a learning disability. She was harmless. Or if these other people was pretentious and evil and scheming, and the lady didn't like them, and they didn't like each other, but they all hung out together. Look, people have tradition. That don't make it a good thing. It's just played up like a good thing to the children, or they wouldn't carry it on. But it'll make your grandma happy. That's the last ditch effort when you're just really trying to rebel. You end up doing it for grandpa's sake. Then when grandpa's gone, you keep doing it in grandpa's memory. And madness has been carried on for 1,000 years in that manner, under the guise of tradition. No. Skeet, skirt, stop the bus. We want a new bus. Everybody stomping their foot saying we want a new bus and a new driver. New windows, new seats. We want it all. This is not me. You can walk outside and ask the person next door what they want. And it's going to come out sounding just like what I just gave a metaphor for. I've been listening to them the whole time, taking notes. What's the number one request that you saw in your world for the truth? I'd be happy with the damn truth. I ain't gotta change the world. Just damn, quit lying. Alright? So I stepped up. First, I gained the skill to stop lying, and then gained a reputation for it to keep me clean. And now I'm way up the road, looking like I'm gonna be somebody. I was somebody the day I was born. And all these titles and all these things they put on me based on something I did. No, I did this thing. And I did that thing and I did this. But the I I can't speak on it right. I can't speak on the eyes while we're still in the ones. I'll speak on the eyes when we get to the eyes. Okay? When we will get to the eyes next. And, got a couple elections to win, got people to put in place, people to take out of place, things to rearrange, to revamp. So, all right, new school books to be printed, new classrooms to be shaped and formed, and safer environments. And we got things to do You know, to keep, we got to change our program and the structure from a house killing us. You know, the list goes down and on and on and on and on. All right. I got to look before I leap. I don't know how I woke up and still believe in Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy, and the Easter Bunny. These people, seems like I've been, wow. All right. So they have to have time to sort it out. So we sort it out for them. Put in a nice little neat box and break it down to ones. They opened up a box and the whole world is in there in ones. And he was like, phew, ooh, thank whoever. Okay. It's the golden rule. It's my super advanced version of the golden rule. Instead of doing people like I would want them to do me, I did people like I wish someone would have did me. I wish someone would have broke it down all simple and handed it to me when I was young enough to where I could go out here and make miracles with it. Because now I got this. I know I got this. I can't be stopped. You can't fool me. You're a fool if you try to fool me. It goes deeper than that. It's like, don't even, get out my way. Move. Now, if you look around and you see a bunch of kids be like hitting you with just one word answers and commands and stuff and making you feel stupid, then you kind of see how the Pied Piper works and what is already, the war is over. The troops have already crawled out the belly of the horse and took the place. This is done. The children will tell you in one word, in one breath. They'll tell you. And you may not like it. You may call it sarcastic. You may call it all kinds of cynical or whatever. But you have to ask yourself, is it true? What do people want? They want the truth. What is the truth? Truths are facts that no matter what nobody say, the fact doesn't change. No matter what anyone does, the fact doesn't change. Okay? The truth is a big rock sitting in the middle of the park. No matter what anyone does or says or feels in that park, it's not going to affect the rock. You can walk up, you can hate the rock. It don't have any effect on the rock. You can love the rock. It doesn't have any effect on the rock. All right? You can think the rock is blue. It's not going to change colors. Your opinion has no effect on what is. Your opinion is what's not real. Here's where you're wrong. Everything is real because it's made out of something, except your thoughts. Your thoughts are not real. They're imaginary. Funny feeling, ain't it, that you're having right now? A very funny, awkward feeling. Like the world's been pulled off from under you. You will gravitate back down to the ground. And then you will go back and recheck everything else and get all the rest of it. And you will become more and more grounded. You will become balanced. You'll be able to float if you want to, or be anchored to the ground like you were dug in a single thought. You'll be in control. You have control of your mind, and it'll give you I got control of myself. That's where the dancing and martial arts and fighting and skiing and spear chunking and dart throwing and any movement of any obstacle or object is done, because you have control of your mind, which controls your body. Okay? Your mind tells your body what to do. Your body can't say no. If you tell it to jump over the house, it has to try. It has to try. It can't say no. That's impossible. No, your body can't do that. So whatever you tell it to do, it do. I'm going to teach you this technique and this process, and you will see. Now you're going to have to pay for it, because you're paying for gold chains and diamond rings and cars and Netflix and cable TV. You're going to pay to get your mind right and your body right, because the money is needed to further the research. You know that phrase. It's not alien to you. So, let's recap and go back. It's okay, interracial dating, interracial mating has some side effects that are not right, that is causing a subculture of mixed people who can't call themselves this or call themselves that. They can't call themselves anything. So they're the symbol for stop calling people by those things and call me by my name. You get the picture? What the ones are about, the breeds and all of them. Why I got to be a that person. My name is this. I hold my own. I walk alone on my own merit. When I do something, no bells don't ring amongst my people. When I get my check, I don't split it up with them. Why you keep grouping me? That's where you wouldn't have all these group problems and race problems if you quit racing people. Quit running, slow down, stop. Quit running the race is what you do. See, you got to understand that's where the world lost its mind. It's not a race. If it is, to where? What is the goal of the race? And where are we running and going and racing to? What are we competing for? We're all competing. We're all running a race and we don't know where we're running. We don't even know the course. Everyone's running a different way and claim they're running the same race. I'm going to take this route because I think it's a better route to get to where I'm trying to go here. So they're all running races to different places and they're calling a race, and you have your own different race, okay? Amongst your people, you're competing with your people. That's your race that you're in. Are you getting it? You're in a competition with your own. Who can be the best, the greatest Chinese man on earth, and the greatest black man on earth, and the biggest well-known Italian, and on and on and on. A race with your own race. Because you can't just be the greatest. They're going to put you in that group. You can't be the overall. There's only a few in between of those. It's not open to you. It's a mind job on you and you're not going anywhere. It's the moonwalk, if anything. It's like tradition. It has you doing the same thing over and over. To ask someone if we're not crazy, explain this. Just a second for the car. If I'm a race, why am I called that? What do this mean when you call me a race? When you call us race? Before you can talk about racism or races or anything, tell me what the hell you mean by race. Are we running somewhere? Are we going somewhere? What is the course? Where is the finish line and the start line? And is there a prize for this race? And has anyone ever won the race? And who started the race? Ask them and see how crazy they look. I'm telling you, something happened. Everyone's crazy. And it's become normal. That's the only reason they're letting it go. You know your uncle got a little problem. Everybody got a little problem. That's what I'm seeing. Nobody's saying it. So, like I said, don't be going around here making broken people. There are better things for souls and minds and spirits to do than to be limping around here because you just wanted to do. There's a lot of people you can do with and nothing won't happen. This is a fact. This is a racial statement. This is a social attack. This is a scientific fact. And if you ignore it, you are negligent. You should be brought up on charges. It's worse than child abuse. It's way worse than child abuse. It's like doing something to a baby. Let me break this baby's arm. Let me break this baby's leg. And no, I'm just going to break one toe so it sticks out crooked. Let me poke this baby in the eye so it can't see straight. And suck the baby in the head. That's what you saying? And you do something and they bring an injured baby. You created that injury. Didn't just happen. It's a scientific fact. You're not compatible. No, you don't want to hear it. I started this note telling you I didn't want to say it. It hurts. It sticks. It does. Man, it goes against the program. But it is, and it is so. So some kind of way in regaining our sanity, we're going to have to wrap our mind, be able to wrap our brain around it and deal with it, man. I didn't make it so. I'm trying to fix it. And technology, and like I said, things are moving on. We'll be able to fix it. Oh, they making oranges all the same size and all this stuff. And people can talk about cloning technology and what's wrong with it and everything bad. But if it can stop little babies from being born with a missing limb, I'm good. I'm good with it. If cloning oranges and chickens lead to them nobody ever being broken again, that you can just go get a spare part, it was all worth it. We lost a couple of generations because they got old and died before their parents, because in the testing of these hormones and different things, it caused accelerated growth. And little kids started having mustaches in the 7th grade. And they got old in their 30s and dropped dead from heart attacks and stuff, like an old man. We lost a generation in the testing. That's bad. Somebody needs to pay for that. But the long-term benefits, people in the future won't even feel that or even care about it. And that's a shame, but that's just the way it is. All they know is, if something's wrong with my heart, I can go get another one. I don't have to wait for a donor like they used to do a long time ago. Well, I can get one today. I can get any part today. If my arm gets chopped off, I can get another one. A better one. If I wanted one. That stuff. It's not just television. We're right up on it. But it would scare the shit out of everybody, is basically what they telling these people, keeping them from making their trillions of dollars off of this shit. And they want to make their money, but people are telling them, we can't let you put that out in the public. It'll scare everyone to death. And this holds back a lot. So these people who decide what you get to know and what you don't, you decide whether they are in a position to do that or not. And if you feel like they're not telling you enough, you could just dump them away. They're gone. So simple. Once you revamp things and get rid of things like electoral colleges, where the real vote of the people, like in the beginning, is what the in balance says, not all these things that take place in between after you go and cast your vote, which means you're not really electing nobody, someone else is. No, the original format means we all go vote, and all those votes are added up, and that is the outcome. Nothing in between. And we're going back to that. First day on the job. You can believe this. First day on the job, we're going back. So to be fair, we will make notes on all the other things that cause people to come in this world, drug usage, in other words, malnutrition. It just comes in many forms. What you take in, you are what you eat, and so is your child. So that's what you produce, a replica of you. If you're all, it's really you still that you're producing. You're producing your own, what you crave for. All right. You wished it was more than you. You wish you had another you. You have the ability to make another you. Okay. Make 2 more yous, 10 more yous. Now you got a whole crew to do what you want to do. If you need an army, you have the ability to make a whole army of yous yourself. I don't know what everybody told you, talking about a family and all this stuff. That's not what you want. You need some more yous. When you call for outside people, your money and resources go out when they leave your circle. But when you use your natural resources, your other yous, it all cycles back in. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? Fulfilling your wishes. Multiplying yourself. That's what your team was supposed to be. Your whole company, your whole business, your whole army was supposed to be a bunch of yous. They even look like you. You find someone else who they need a team in the army too, and y'all get together and you make a team in the army that look like y'all. Does that sound right? Someone erased that program and gave us the shit, and it's not working. So that's what I'm saying, get things right. We can't be going out here eliminating whole creeds of people because we wanted to sleep with them, knowing that if we sleep with them, they're going to disappear. You can't go sleeping with people knowing you got an infection and give it to them and pass it on to them and their kids. You can't do that. There's a reason to stay in our lanes, and there's no hate group reason. All them people they're insane. This is not insane, and it came out the same way, so they're not totally crazy. Come on. You want to call them a hate group, but they're standing for their right to survive. You're talking about genocide when you talk about interracial mating. I won't exist no more if they mate with them black people. You can understand that point, can't you? You still want to call them a bad person? Good and bad is in the eyes of the beholder. Right and wrong does not exist until one of us move. I'm giving you the same example so it gets around. You take a glass bowl and you fill it up with water and you give some birds or a dog or a cat some water on a hot day. That's a good thing, and the bowl is a good thing. You take this same bowl and you bash someone's head in with it. It's a weapon. It's a bad thing, but the bowl was not good or bad until you touched it. And that's the same way with good and bad. It don't exist unless some person moves something or moves. And if that person's mind is not right, they're going to make a bad move. Do you understand why we only have one problem? People's mind not being right is causing all the bad things in the world. That one problem. Everything is ones. Stick to the ones. And you can, man, it makes the world easier than driving a car. The car is a little bit more complicated. So you got video games more complicated than the one system when you break it down. I'd rather do the ones, man. Anyway, I don't have to push the ones. Everyone is secretly selfish. The ones is licensed to be that against what they try to tell you. Like selfish is wrong. It's a bad thing. I'm like, huh? So you want to be selfless, right? A selfless person could be took over by someone else and controlled because they're selfless. And self-preservation is the first law, so how can selfishness be wrong? You're supposed to be taking care of yourself. It's the first rule. That sounds selfish to me. And it's getting to look like everything I was told was backwards. That whoever did this was so simple, they couldn't come up with a new scenario. They just flipped things backwards and inside out. And it got too easy to figure out. In case you wonder how I'm doing all these things, you'll be doing them too tomorrow. You sure will. Because the formula is just too simple of how to unfold it. Really just play it backwards. Or reach into the middle of it and pull it and turn it inside out. And you'll see what it is. Pull it inside out. You'll see all the inner workings of it. And see how it really is. So this note is getting up there, you know. They all end up around, around an hour long. That's therapeutic. Because for a whole hour, it was impossible for someone to be programming you from the outside because what you were receiving is totally anti-program. It's stronger than the message that's being played to you over the airwaves. And it ain't just, you can't say, oh, the government's doing this. I'm telling you, private persons pushing private products got ways of doing these things you think the government is doing. They are big. Some of them actually got more money to spend than the government on the stuff. I don't want to say that because certain people will come to mind. So let's look, these differences, that's what they are. There aren't defects because there is no perfect mold to go by to say that someone is broken physically. Okay? And so, everyone is different. Some people got little feet, some people got big feet. We can't all walk the same. Your legs are longer than mine. That's why I don't teach that crap that you've been taught. The martial arts that you've been taught, or the dancing that you've been taught, or the sports that you've been taught, or the physical training or therapy you've been taught. You know why? I hate to put all these people out of business, but here it goes. They gather you all in the same room like Taibo and tell you, do this move, do this move. You know what's wrong with that, where it all goes wrong right then? Some people have long legs, some people have short legs. Some people have wide bodies, some people have skinny bodies. They can't all do the same moves, or they don't all need the same moves. They don't need the same workout. There shouldn't be something called standard when it comes to individuals. There should not, those words don't go together. Standard and individual cannot fit in the same space. So they come in with these standard programs for everybody. Do these moves right here. No matter who you are. You can be a child. You got to do the same moves. It's what somebody taught them. And you come out doing something, but it's nothing like what you see me doing. Not even close in the ballpark. And I'm finna show you the way. I'm giving you a hint now by showing you what's wrong with the other way. And another thing about birth defects or being different. If you don't make your own clothes to fit your own body, you will never be comfortable in this life. Learn to sew and make things yourself for yourself. You'll be so happy. It'll be the skill that you would never regret you made. God. Here's why. People are going to sell you knockoffs, generics, factory seconds, They have many names for them, bootleg, all kind of things. What's wrong with these things? Why they call them that? The stitching is crooked. It's off. The button is not in the right place. The seams zigzag instead of going straight down. And when your body feels this, even if you don't, and it tries to twist to adjust to the unsymmetrical way that it is, to the crookedness, and it causes you to twist. And if you're wearing these cheap shoes your whole life, yeah, you might walk with a limp or be a little bit twisted. And you've been wearing these cheap clothes forever. If you are twisted, you will never get untwisted wearing this stuff. I've spoke extreme on it. You understand how far and how deep it goes. A crooked baseball bat will make you feel like you can't hit a ball. A wobbled ball will make you feel like you're not a good pitcher. A baseball glove that's not sewn right will make you think you can't catch. A cup with a crooked handle will make you think you clumsy. A crooked spatula will make you think you can't make pancakes. Do you understand how this works? Crooked glasses, crooked television screens, things you're not detecting. The lines on your paper are not leveled. And you're going around thinking they're awkward. You've been conditioned to be awkward and off balance by all these unbalanced things in front of you that were supposed to be leveled. They were presented to you like they were leveled. This is the concept that you sold you, as if these things were straight. The lines on these paper were straight. That the screen was straight and completely square or rectangular. That it wasn't crooked. And that these shoes were balanced and even. Not that I was standing off balance where I thought it was me. But people just are selling you stuff to get money now. They know these things. That's why when they come out all together, that's when they realize the little role they played did mean something. Oh my God, I'm a part of this. I'm one of the big monsters he's talking about. I make one of those things. And by itself, it wouldn't destroy the world, but when you put them all together, I see what it means. I'm never going to sell another crooked pair of jeans. And now his mind is right. He's not making the wrong moves anymore. That's how it goes. He saved himself. You have to save yourself. And every time you see someone on television escape a hard situation, what happens? What's the first thing they do after they dive and the building blow up, or they get behind the truck right before things blow up or they start shooting? They go, they sigh. Only we spell it S-Y, because it stands for save yourself. But we like that feeling, sigh. Okay? This has been a message from the Self-Preservation Society. Save yourself. Be one. Everything is on the one. Just like Parliament Funkadelic tried to tell you. Keep it on the one. Okay, and remember, people are different, but there are no good and bad people. They're just people. They do good sometimes, they do bad sometimes. That same person. There are no good and bad people. There are no absolutes, anything. The answer to everything, especially when it comes to choices, is both. You want to be in the middle, neutral. You don't want to be too much this way and too much that way. It won't work. Believe me, this is always the answer, both. And the only way to be both is to be one. Your natural self is in the middle. You're not this or that. You can move that way, and you can move this way. But until you move, you're not this or that. You're just you. You're just one. Now, if you group to the left, a group to the right, that's on you. No matter what you do, you're still going to be just the one. Even in a group of millions, you're still just one. The one keeps you from having that mental problem that strikes us all, wanting to be understood, wanting someone to see inside your mind, inside you, to understand you and see things the way you see them. That doesn't happen when you realize you're one. Okay, you're in this body by yourself. The closest that they can get to you is touch you. They will never get inside your head and understand you. It's a fruitless journey and mind-losing quest. It causes feelings and all kinds of things. You know what feelings are, right? Feelings are thoughts in your head, not things in your chest and in your heart. Feelings are thoughts in your head that cause physical reactions like rapid heartbeat and nervousness. Some very uncomfortable feelings like tears. That's what the reason they're called feelings, okay? The reason they're called emotions is because they're thoughts that cause movement in your body, all right? Tears, heartbeat. So they really don't exist by themselves. There's nothing called emotions. These are thoughts in your head. That other stuff is part of the insanity that's been handed down for thousands of years, and it's not going to be so easy for you to shake it in one day that there's no such thing as emotions, that these are thoughts. You actually almost feel something in your stomach and chest because they told you that. That's psychosomatic. Okay? You are one by yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you caring about that more than anything else. Whatever it is you think you got to handle or take care of, you're supposed to be responsible for children or whatever. If you lose yourself or don't take care of yourself, you can't do any of that. So you come first. So that's the first law. Self-preservation, no matter what else goal you may have or need or obligation. The ones. This is the only group that ever be. Because they're not a group. They're ones. Okay, people, on to the next note. Drink some water.